Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to the Sex, Drugs, and Jesus podcast. I'm your host, Evan Serafino. God bless you for joining. I speak prosperity, success, clear vision, and celestial happiness over each and every last one of you. So I am back here. Like I said in the last episode, I just pressed pause and this has come right back. Although I will release these episodes on different days. We're going to go ahead and get into the fire signs. Again, we're in the middle of this teaching that I'm doing on the Zodiac, going over each sign in the three different stages. And after that, we'll get into the tarot, chakras, and all these different things to try to give you some practical, tangible spirituality. Website is sexdrugsandjesus.com, also down under apparel.com, and we're on YouTube, Sex, Drugs, and Jesus Podcast. And so the previous episode, which you might want to look at, went over the three stages, what they are in general. We went over what the modalities and qualities are, like what cardinal sign means, what fixed signs mean, what mutable signs mean. We went over why fire, water, earth, and air are used. We went over history of the zodiac, kind of explained what it is in different things like that to lay the foundation. We will not be doing those in subsequent episodes, so I suggest you go back and look, and I tried my best to explain it as though I was talking to somebody who had never heard of the horoscope or the zodiac before. So, fire signs. Gay fire signs. I'm a Sagittarius sun, and I absolutely love that about me. And again, I'm quoting from several different websites. We're just going to put all these websites at the end of all the show notes for all these episodes because I was all over the internet looking this up. Fire signs are the sparky firecrackers of the zodiac, lively, gravitating quite easily toward the center of attention. Fire signs possess a passion, boldness, energy, enthusiasm, courage, and a zest for life that often leads them to adventurous and creative endeavors. Sagittarius dates are November 22nd to December 21st. The popular symbol for the sign of Sagittarius is the arrow. The element is fire. The modality is immutable. The ruling house of Sagittarius is the ninth house of philosophy and higher learning. The ruling planet is Jupiter. The tarot card most closely associated with the sign of Sagittarius is the Temperance. When I do my teaching on the tarot cards, we're going to get more in depth into all the cards that have to do with a certain sign because there's more than one card. But this is just the main card. So Sagittarius is what we have, like the Temperance, the Wheel of Fortune. I think probably I think maybe like the Eight of Wands or the Knight of Wands, something like that. But I'll get it refined and laid out for you. The body part associated with Sagittarius is the hip and thighs. Now, I thought this would be cute, fun, and sexy and flirty. This website I found says each zodiac sign is like a body part assigned to it, and it is understood that if you work with that particular body part, charge it with energy, do certain workouts and physical exercises, it can help you show up better as a soul and as a person in your relationships by focusing on that. So a Sagittarius being our hips and thighs, which is the truth, because I had some thick ass thighs. They used to tease me and call me thunder thighs in elementary school because they were jelly, of course. Because I had thick thighs from day one. Then that hasn't changed. Period. But that's another Sagittarius thing. But baby, what they tease me for now is what they after me for now. Hello. What they teased me for back then is what they're after me for now. Now everybody want damn thick thighs, and you should too. Look at Beyonce. Look at all them people. Okay, that's how it's all about the thighs. Shit. Period. Period. And so let me just read this to you. It says, saddle up and pay close attention to the hips with Sagittarius, a fire sign commonly represented as a centaur pulling back a bow. Massages to the thighs, hips, and upper legs to be the quickest way to turn this sign on. Their hips don't lie with a Sag. Sagittarius rules the hips and thighs because they are the body parts involved in movement, and the archer is the great explorer. So I thought to myself, why the fuck is the Sagittarius the only damn zodiac sign that has a fucking weapon in their hand? Also, Sagittarius is the only zodiac sign that's like half animal. Okay. Most zodiac signs are something like not a person, yeah, or anything at all. I think, Gemini are technically like the twins, but most of them are not like a person. Aquarius is technically like well, they're more popular signs. It's more like not a person, but let me read this to you. Sagittarius is the only zodiac sign armed with a weapon, a bow, and an arrow. In turn, people born with their sun signs in Sagittarius aren't afraid to fight back, particularly if someone accuses them of being untrue and untrustworthy, as they pride themselves in being authentic. Yes, I do. Anybody else like me never will be. Greek mythology associates Sagittarius with the centaur Chiron, who mentored Achilles among a shitload of other people. A Greek hero, Achilles being a Greek hero of the Trojan War, in archery. Sagittarius, the half human and half horse, is the centaur of mythology, the learned healer whose higher intelligence forms a bridge between earth and heaven. Also known as the archer, Sagittarius is represented by the symbol of a bow and arrow. As an archer, Sagittarius is said never to fail in hitting the mark, and this depiction alludes to the power of prophecy, hence the claim that seers and prophets are born in this sign. It's another thing that's true with me because I was born under the sign of prophecy. Very, very interesting, the accuracy of this astrology. This is what I love about this because this to me proves that, say, like following Jesus, God, and the Holy Ghost is not mutually exclusive when it comes to being somebody into zodiac, astrology, tarot. I see God all over that. I see God all in that. In tarot cards, you have things like the Torah and things that allude to like the apostles, and the disciples and things of that nature. And yet I don't really hear anybody talking about too much like God or Jesus specifically in their divination practices using these things. That's their choice, and I'm certainly not judging them for it. I do. I work with God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Ghost exclusively, even in all forms of divination and magic that I practice. I pray to no other God. I never have and I never will. And I talked about all of that in the previous episode, how you need to be paying attention to who you go to for prophecy and divination or magic work done, who they believe in, and all that. All that's in the other episode. So Sagittarius, the three stages of Sagittarius are called the archer, the arrow, the centaur. The archer is also known as the seeker. The arrow is also known as the emptiness phase, and the centaur is also known as self-value. The archer. You are sweetly idealistic during this time of your life, believing that you are being guided by the universe. You don't yet understand that means you may have to encounter things you don't want to deal with. You continually take aim at new things, art projects, and relationships, and never hesitate to try again. But during this phase, you're not learning anything. You think trying again means success, when success is really determined by the lesson learned. Because of this, you will give up at some point and think that you can't have the life or love that you want, not realizing yet that this is only the beginning. My takeaway from that is the whole point of anything that we do is really, what did we learn from it? What was really the spirit of it? Sometimes the details don't really fucking matter like that. If the shit didn't work out, especially, it's not like it's a total loss. You were strengthened by it if you choose to find that silver lining. And maybe the Lord did not want you to quote unquote succeed by prevailing in the thing. Maybe he wanted you to get a lesson out of it, learn something about yourself out of it. I think about this time I worked as what they call an admissions counselor, as this shady ass aviation school in Houston. And after a short amount of time, I realized it was just like a money scam, but I didn't leave, even though I realized it was a money scam. And eventually I got fired because my energy just wasn't jiving with them and I was not there for it. But I felt like I needed the money and I should have just had enough integrity to leave. The lesson that I learned from that was that I am not money driven. I may have thought I was, but I'm not. And I'm very much like people driven and helping people driven. And I don't actually give that much of a damn to, especially not to the extent of getting people in the crazy amounts of debt like that school was doing, to just so that I can make a paycheck. So I learned about myself, a part of where my value system lies. And even though I could not keep that job, I gained valuable insight into what truly motivates and drives me. And it's not money. I like nice shit, but that's just what I gravitate towards. I don't like it's because it's expensive. I just happen to like things that happen to be expensive. The big difference. The arrow. Your vision has gone from giving up to being so single minded, you still aren't able to find success. While you are still trying to take aim at those things in your life you think you want, or that you can feel you won by achieving the lesson, here's that you don't really need them. This is the phase where you learn what you want versus what you need, and how if it's not the latter, then it will always feel empty. You will learn true success isn't determined by what we win, but by what we learn and what we allow ourselves to receive. You start to look at everything differently, realizing that it was you that was keeping yourself small. And you start to understand that freedom is only something you give yourself when you stop trying to make life be what you think it should be. This to me talks about getting out of the opinions other people put in your head about what life is supposed to be. Okay. And so much of this is still going back to, and so much of life is about understanding what we actually want and who we are, which always goes back to our inner child healing. Healing. I talked about that a lot in the last episode. The lessons, what we learn, the spirit of the matter is more important than the experience that we're doing. I try to remind people in your life, the spirit of the matter and the lessons that you're learning are more important than the experience that you're having. I hear that word experience say it so damn much. It's almost like people feel like their life's going to run off and leave them and behind in the dark some damn where. And there's such an emphasis on having experiences, experiences, experiences. You keep saying that, you keep programming your mind a certain way. Be damn careful with how much you use that word, because you could put yourself in a mental state where you're really looking forward to the experience more than you're looking forward to the person you're doing it with. Or you're looking more forward to the experience more so than thanking God for allowing you to have the strength, the finances, the mental capacity, the freedom, the time to go do it. You could make a God out of experiences and the pursuit of them. You see this a lot in sex. People are more concerned with having sex, getting in different positions, the intensity of it, how quick they can have it, the ritual and all the talking that goes along with building it up, if they even bother with that. Some people are so damn fast to do it that they're more concerned about the sex than the person. That's a foul. You should not do this thing. Your karma is very, very bad if you misuse the high magic ritual that is sex, actually. I'll be doing a different show on sexual alchemy and transmutation later on, because it is time for us to rise higher in our sex lives and how we approach sex. And it's time for us to look at it spiritually, which is what it was. You're going to have your orgasms. You're going to bust all your nuts. You can be poly or monogamous. Both of them are totally legitimate before God. But we going to start putting the people before the experiences we want to have. Are we going to actually honor the divine within people and not act like life is supposed to be about a constant state of consumption, doing something, planning the next thing to do, and slow down and get people in our lives so we just fucking enjoy having them there if we're not doing anything at all? Just being in their presence, on the phone with them, saying nothing, just lingering in their energy is sufficient. We don't have to fucking do anything or always be having an experience. The centaur, the final stage of evolution of the Sagittarius, this mythical creature is the symbol of freedom, wisdom, and strength. You have endured what you thought would break you, and you have come back stronger. than you could ever have imagined. You don't just mindlessly shoot your arrows hoping one will land, but know so deep what is worth your energy and what ain't. You are in a phase of embodying true success as you have now learned the value of connecting to your soul. No decision or choice matters if it's not one that you feel deeply connected to. You act from a place of abundance rather than fear of lack, which opens you up to receive all the universe has in store for you, all God has in store for you. No problem or challenge becomes too big for you as you've now mastered both discipline and patience. I tell you the truth, all of this applies to me. I remember being so having such bad nerves and being so impatient. Like, say, when I first went to the Air Force when I was 17, I didn't have the patience to cook a pot of beans. That I thought as soon as I turned the damn pot on, why the fuck isn't the water not boiling? Why are these beans not done in like 15 fucking minutes? I never paid attention to how long shit took to cook when I was a child. Now, it's nothing for me to take 4 hours to tend tenderly tend to a pot of beans, say, on the stove, or to be patient while my garden grows and all of those things, and to just slow the fuck down, live in the moment to understand, like this art, like this portion is saying, true success. Everything and everybody in my life has to come with deep emotion. I don't do a damn thing that I don't want to every day. I'm very fortunate in that sense, but it has to carry depth to it. Even my drugs, as the Lord delivered me from alcohol, which is one of the most entrapping things in this world. I'm not saying drinking alcohol is the devil, but it is a low vibration attached to it, and it does depress you and bring you down. Alcohol, crack, crystal meth, and cocaine. I don't do any of those things anymore. I still haven't touched them since I got out of the mental hospital at the beginning of this year in January. But when I do go out and do my LSD or ketamine or psilocybin or weed or whatever, but especially my LSD, very intentional. I take time, I pray and meditate, I fast leading up to the experience. I do magical alchemy over it using like these sigils and things like that I have on my arm before I take the LSD. And the experience has been totally magical. It's helped to open my sacral chakra and my heart chakras, which were closed after that bad relationship that I was in last year. It's helped me to see truth. I'm gonna do another episode on like mental constructs we set up, but LSD helped me to find like union in between like my masculine and feminine. I realized I had set up like a construct in my head to like say protect my masculine side when I was a child after being molested by my uncle and then physically beat and verbally abused and emotionally abused by my dad for all those years that I was a child, pretty much till I went to the military. And since every male around me was a narcissist and every male rejected really my mannerisms and the way that I was, but the females were more accepting of me, both in church, at home, wherever the fuck I was. I took on more feminine attributes, even though that wasn't who I was. That was more of a defense and a protective mechanism. And I think I like hid my manhood and my masculinity away so it wouldn't become infected by the males around me. And because they weren't accepting of me as a male anyway. And then I began to act like the girls and the women and things like that, even though that wasn't my true nature. You see, and then I was all kinds of fucked up because from the beginning I was straight, but it was my uncle's molestation that diverted my sexuality. But I'm glad everything happened the way it did because I would much rather be queer, and the Lord won't change it. I asked him to do that years ago, and God let everything happen because He wanted me this way. But I would rather be queer than to have had been a straight narcissist like every fucking male in the family that I departed from is, and I mean fucking every one of them. It's fucking unreal. And females are too. It's like shit. It's so, as they would say, the devil meant it for bad, but God meant it for my good. But I had to fucking really sit with that. And it came to me one day Because the way LSD does, it expands and stretches your mind. And I've done up to 15 micrograms of it in a single dose at a time. I've been through intense shit. I'm an intense person. I can handle intense amounts of drugs. It's just that damn simple. Know thyself. And it expands your mind. But then when you settle, you can see very finite details in yourself and other people. I hear music at deeper levels. Same songs I've been listening to all my life. I hear like the real fucking song. Now that I do like LSD all the time, I'm not saying go run out and do LSD, but I'm saying you might want to pray about some psychedelics. And I'm very thankful that in this ascended state, with the things that I thought could have broken me last year didn't, at this high level view, what they're saying about this centaur damn sure fucking applies to me. And hopefully it applies to you too. I would love for y'all to write in and tell me if any of this is jiving with you. If you're if you find yourself in any of these signs, if you think that you have gained anything from this, if it helped you to understand yourself more better spiritually. Mhm. Another construct that I'm going to tell you, that I'm going to get on over into Leo. And we will be talking about Leo. I'm sorry, I should have told you Leo and Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries, who we're talking about. Another construct that I had set up in my mind. And these constructs we set up ain't intentional. It's like you do it subconsciously as you get repeatedly abused or traumatized, or maybe once if the trauma or the abuse was significant enough, and you just do it, but you could begin to understand and look at life through that way. But thank God for growth and evolution. I was at this a club in Brooklyn where a lot of psychedelic kids hang out at. I do LSD. A lot of it. That was the night that I was the 1,500 microgram. I've only done that once. I'd do it again if I felt like the spirit was leading me. At some point in the night, I began to understand the community, the psychedelic community, and I looked at us and we were all facing the DJ, which I never understood why people would like dance and face the DJ. And I was like, wait, it began to feel like church. And I was like, if God is the DJ, in a lot of ways, he does embody that, because music is not something which can be seen; it has to be felt. Music heals, it affects vibrations. Every shaman and spiritual leader I know would agree. There is no psychedelics without the music. That's just a part of any kind of ritual ceremony. You got to have the music. Whether it's over a stereo or some instrument being played, the two are one, because the spirit moves through music. Hell, even the Pentecostals get that. You strike a spiritual note, as my grandmother would say. You must strike a spiritual note on that organ, and somebody get up and catch the Holy Ghost. It's true. There's something about it. God works in our souls through musical rhythms. That's why I like songs written, say, like minor keys or can be very moody and move you, very soulful, whereas the major keys can be more exciting and things like that. There's a science that is understood behind the spiritual and emotional implications of music. And but I was looking, I was like, I see why we're all facing, because the inspiration is coming from the front of the room. That's like God channeling his energy through this DJ who was vibing and feeling all these kids in the crowd, and to figure out what to play based on what they're sensing in the spirit at that moment. And and I said, wait, I feel welcome here. And I began to be overwhelmed with emotion. I have cried many tears in the club while I was on LSD, and while the Lord was purging me and dealing with me and showing me me. And I said, oh, wait, I feel, equal. I feel like one of these people, like for true. And I said, like, I feel safe. It came to me amongst other things while I was in this state of mind. And I was like, I feel safe. And I just like put my head down and I just began to cry. And I was like, never felt safe before. Come this December 16th, I will have been on this earth for 42 years. This is the first time in my life that I actually can say that I 100% feel safe. Why? When my mother was pregnant with me, a dad was running around cheating, being a hoe. And then I was born to all of that abuse. And I went to the military for further abuse. Then I got out and went to Lakewood Church for more trauma and religious abuse. Then I got out and left the church and basically became a drug dealer for more abuse. And I was homeless. And I came back to Louisiana to live back with the same abusive dad. And then 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 more abuse down there. Then I'm in an abusive relationship with a narcissist, and now I'm in New York, away from all that and ascended, and I finally feel safe for the first time in damn near 42 years. And this occurred to me the other day, like this fucking weekend when I was at this club and I had to go sit down on the steps in this club and just have me a fucking meltdown of the highest caliber because of the beauty of understanding that I can actually depend on people and that I can actually accept people and let them in my life, and that I don't have to do everything alone, and that it's okay to rely on people and to be one of the people, and that's okay, and that is of God, and that is how He designed it. In my head, I've always been, and in the truth, I've always been close. I told you in the last episode, when I was 5, I started dreaming. It's very interesting as all this abuse was happening. I was growing spiritually even at that young age. And I understand the spirit world. I know how to circumnavigate the throne of God, the high Trinity. I know how to communicate with angels and ancestors. I am strongly connected to the other side. I understood that it would be me and God in this life. I am very fucking close to Him. Like you wouldn't, like I can't even much explain how close to God I am. And so in my head, I set up this construct. I was like, well, that's all I'll be needing because I could never trust any damn body that didn't fuck me over in some type of way. And and I just made peace with that. I was just like, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna serve the earth and still volunteer and still do this ministry and still share my knowledge. But me personally, I'm good with Jesus. Like that's the way it's gonna be. I'm fine with that. So I'm good with that. But this which happened this weekend let me know that that state of thinking that I had was because I never felt safe enough. Even though I tried to let people in, I tried dating, and I tried making it work with the people who I had to excommunicate. You just can't do it when people don't fully accept you for who you are. So there's none of this. We accept you, but we don't like that gay part. We accept you. We don't like that black part. Or we accept you. We don't like that whatever part, which is how the Pentecostal church was. What when I was crying at the club, all that flashed through my mind. I was like, I should have felt this safe at church, but I never did because they have conditions to their acceptance in church. They have conditions to their acceptance in the family that I left. Everywhere I went, the military damn sure had motherfucking conditions. Whatever you did wasn't right. If it wasn't 100%, like literally in the military, in the Air Force that I was in, 99.999% is fucking catastrophe to them. And if you and I mean a big fucking deal. They want perfection or anything is just, oh, just too much. And you're gonna hear about it and it's fucking bad. Not here. In New York City, especially over in Brooklyn, we get weird. It's okay to be yourself. And you can show up dressed any kind of fucking way you want at these places. You can do your fucking drugs. You could have your goddamn experience. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with you. They will check on you and see if you need anything. If they know that you will be watched, but that's for your good. They're not watching you to judge you. They're watching you to help you, to send you good vibes and to pray for you. When I sat down to go through my meltdown, I could feel like the energy of the people's feet stomping to the floor. There's a certain like sort of dance we do when we're on psychedelics. Though at least on LSD, I think most people are on LSD. I don't know. We don't really talk to each other. Psychedelic kids on the dance floor, we don't run our fucking mouths. We communicate through our bodies and through the spirit, through the rhythm. Unlike people who drink and shit, who don't fucking stop talking, we're not that way. It's complete damn near silent dance floor. And it's packed with people, but I could feel them carrying me through the spirit since I wasn't up to be a part of our collective stomp forward. It doesn't look like we're doing much movement the way we dance, but energetically on the inside, a lot is changing and transmuting, and the spirit is healing a lot within us. People are really getting issues worked out on that dance floor. I suggest you not waste a moment on the dance floor. While you're out there, you should come off of that dance floor changed and show up in a quantifiable way for yourself better, for the divine better, and for any type of relationship you have made a priority to have in your life better. So what am I saying? Dance, let God in, work with the energies, and have a clearer mind the next day. Be better at your job the next day. Show your significant other more love the next day. Show yourself more love the next day. Yes, from your experience on a dance floor. It's never just dancing. Dancing is a ritual. When I sat down to have my meltdown, I could feel their energy carrying me forward. And I knew that whenever this thing I was going through passed, it was going to be then my turn to get up and rejoin this certain dance that we do and carry somebody else forward while they're going through their experience, even though I don't know them or may not even be aware that they're going through it. Just my collective energy being contributed helps people heal in a psychedelic musical dance club space. This is community. This is church. This is actual, real fucking authentic church, not that bullshit where you gotta be going through all of them drama and hoops and being judged and shit. We don't have time. No, we don't focus on that. We're over it. We shall never relive those experiences again. We got to get over the anger of what they did to us in church, and we got to move forward with God and get close to the divine as you choose to describe it. It was so overwhelming, and I also went through many other things that I'll talk about in a future episode under this experience. But that was another construct I set up in my head. I thought I knew what I wanted, and I thought I knew how it was, but that wasn't the case. And I learned a lot about Divine and Serafino this past weekend. By the time this comes out, it probably would have been 2 weekends ago on on the motherfucking drugs, man. And I really, really grew as a person and as a soul. And I thank God for it and thank God for LSD. Anyway, Leo. Leo goes from July the 23rd to August the 2nd. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Their popular symbol is the lion. Element fire. Modality fixed. Ruling house is the fifth house of pleasure. Ruling planet is the sun. Tarot card is the strength, which has a lion on it and is lady taming it usually. Body part, the heart and spine. The back just might be where it's at for this fire sign. Next time you go in for a hug with your loved up Leo, linger a while, running your fingers up and down their spine or in little circles. As Zodiac royalty, nothing turns Leo on more than being the center of their lover's world, baby. Yes. Likewise, these lines govern the heart and spine, the epicenters of the human body. Running fingers down a Leo's back is a massive turn on for these erotic wildcats, and and it will be sure to leave this line purring in ecstasy. My God. Somebody ought to go rub a Leo. The three stages of Leo are the lion, which is also known as confident, the warrior, which is also known as the fighter, and then the king, which is also known as the leader. And see, you would have thought as much as the lion is masqueraded around as the sign of Leo, that the lion would have been the final for transformation or evolution of Leo, but it's not. That's why I'm teaching you this. The way things are marketed are very misleading, not maliciously so, but nevertheless, we got to expand our knowledge and grow spiritually. It's time for us to grow spiritually. I've had enough of all this money making, all this sex, all this dating, all this travel, all these damn experiences. It's time for you to experience spiritual growth, period. Quantifiable, deep, sincere fucking spiritual growth, and get to know whatever you choose to believe in as another person. That is what it's time for. The lion. At birth, as a Leo, you often feel as if the world is yours. You're confident, passionate, and feel quite literally as if you can handle and take on anything that comes up. You are a true leader. However, you are still young, whether in years or in spirit, so others will question you. When this happens, you often go into into a rage and self-destruct. At this point, you will be thrown into the next phase of life. Kind of giving me some of the night energy from the tarot. The warrior, because of coming into this stage, questioning themselves, this phase becomes all about worthiness. During this stage, you will be asked to determine what makes you feel worthy, which begins with you trying to prove you're just that to others. Once you realize that it's not about how worthy others see you, but how worthy you see yourself, you will begin to learn the lessons of this phase. While there will be lessons around patience and vanity, this stage will ultimately teach you to look deep within yourself, to your spirit, because that is the part of us that never fades. I want to remind you that this is all very subtle in our subconscious, that a lot of this is taking place. You may not wake up and be like, I'm going to go out today and give way too much of a damn about what people think of me to the point that it's unhealthy. You may not think of it that way, and you might. But what this is trying to get you to understand is that this is the tape you're playing. So the choices that you make, from what you wear to the things you say, you might be trying to earn affection and approval from external people and sources, and you might not be aware of it. But when we ascend and become enlightened, this is when we really become aware. Oh, fuck, I've been doing that. I've been thinking that way. Damn, how long have I been doing that? Oh, well, it's time to stop now, or to work on stopping. The king is the final stage of evolution for Leo. As you emerge from the darkness of the second phase, you truly are embodying your divine power. You understand that a true king or queen doesn't have to demand that power, but only to live their life as if they already have it. You accept criticism with grace and as an opportunity to become better. You understand that a leader doesn't have to be perfect, whether in words or appearances, but your worth is in your deep sense of love and understanding for all those around you. So this goes from a performative sort of a value, trying to earn affection, to knowing who the fuck you are and standing in your own goddamn God-given power. And honestly, not giving a fuck about what people think either. Like, we can accept criticism if it's given with love, compassion, and grace, and it's actually gonna fucking help us and it's constructive. But when you stand in your own power, you got to stop giving a damn about what people think, because as they say, they don't have a heaven to send you to or a hell to put you in. As I say, when you stand before the judgment, they won't be there with you. And so this is why you cannot fuck around with people's damn opinions. You need more, fuck them in your attitude. Just fuck them. Like, literally, fuck them. It doesn't matter what people think, because people are only able to look at you through the lens that is their eyes, which is their perception. And many people have very fucked up and flawed perceptions that are inaccurate. They haven't done their soul work, their inner child work. Anybody trying to critique you or judge you is not somebody who's ascendant. And at that point, it doesn't fucking matter what they think, because they're looking through very shady shadow eyes. Like, they're looking through not good energy. So it doesn't matter what they think at all, because what they're thinking is irrelevant. It's not qualitative. It's not coming from a good place. It didn't come from the Lord or the divine as you would define it. And this is why we must discard people's opinions, because they don't know their asshole from their elbow, from a hole in the ground, from any other fucking hole. They ain't got no damn time. None of us have any time to be judging or looking at no damn body else. Never ever let your value be decided by anybody other than the divine in you. Whenever you step out that door, whatever the fuck you have on, I don't care how you look, you own that shit. Up here in New York, I see all kinds of looks. Same way when I was in Tokyo. I mean, shit don't have to match. It just be some shit somebody threw together, but fuck it. They got their head held high, sunglasses on, owning it. Don't you fucking walk out that door with your head held down. I don't give a damn. Put that damn thing up. I don't care if you have to force it up. And if you're confident, then you will sell people on your confidence. If you're not, you're gonna make people be less likely, less attracted to you, and less likely to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. There are many confident fucking people who project that, even though they might be questioning themselves on that day. I'm confident as fuck, but there's still days where I have to overcome negative voices in my head in order to make it out the door. I ain't saying it's depression necessarily, but I'm saying even the most confident, beautiful fucking people have days where we have to overcome shit and have to pep talk ourselves up. It's not that we're just confident all the fucking time, but we know how to recognize those fell voices trying to in, penetrate our mind, and we check that shit and we talk back to it and we rebuke it and we cast it the fuck out because we're not having it. It's an active choice we're making to be happy, positive, and in gratitude. We're not perfect. but we are more probably self-aware than people who haven't quite ascended yet. Aries. Let's talk about Aries. Dates for Aries are March the 12th through April the 9th. The popular symbol for Aries is the ram. The element is fire. Its modality is cardinal. The ruling house is the first house of self. The ruling planet is Mars. The tarot card is the emperor. The body part is the head. Aggressive Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So naturally, this fire sign is associated with the head. Not not that head, people, like this head. I'm gonna need y'all to get your minds out the gutter at least for a second, and you can put them right back in there because we're having fun, at least for today. Fittingly symbolized by the ram, astrologers say Aries tend to get off on a gentle head massage. Lord Jesus. Up here, this head massage, some light hair tugging, or gentle caresses behind the ears. If you're single and an Aries, it couldn't hurt to invest in a scalp massager along with your standard sex toys. The stages for Aries. Not every Aries is gonna be like, you heard that right. So you gotta give me some head tonight or whatever, or at least a hand job. You heard the dude on sex, drugs, and Jesus. I'm an Aries. I need this for my spiritual health. Oh well, fellas, work it if you can. Shit, fuck it. Fuck it. So the three stages of life for Aries are the ram, which is also known as the fighter, the shepherd, which is also known as hermit mode or self-isolating, and finally, Aries' most evolved form is the reborn sun, which is also known as inner confidence. The ram, passionate and normally known for being a fighter, Aries is associated with beginnings. This is about the potential that you have as the sacredness of inner fire and knowing. But as you go through life, it may feel like you're fighting too many battles, fighting to be yourself, to be seen, to be successful, until eventually you exhaust yourself and feel at a loss. You surrender to life, which leads you to enter into the next phase. Ever seen somebody fighting every goddamn thing and every goddamn one? And you'd be like, Why are you so fighty? Like, why are you so argumentative? Why are you so combative?" It's like, we're not your enemies. What the fuck? It's actually going on. Dealing with somebody who's in their primary state of evolution. And these states of evolution don't have an age. I think I mentioned that in this episode or the last one. A person can be any age and have not evolved. Your evolutions will come to you when the divine is ready for them to come, but it's up to you to seek them out, especially when the knowledge hits your ears. If you're listening to this episode, it's time for you to grow. It's time for you to grow. The shepherd. Wisdom comes slowly here the further you step into your truth of what actually is worth fighting for and what is not. You become more discerning and allow parts of your life to drop away, which are no longer resonating with your truth. During this phase, you may go into hermit mode or self isolate so that you can heal your wound and also learn to trust yourself more deeply as you discern passion from anger. Once you do, once you do though, we will feel ready to re-emerge as a new version of yourself. Really dwell on that passion from anger for a moment. Passion is a healthy burst of flame or fire that is driving you to get those late night studies in, to sit here and record the second episode in the damn near midnight in New York City. That's passion. Okay. Anger is destructive. It's not healthy if you linger in it. It's healthy to be angry for a hot moment, but not to let yourself be driven by it. You can get angry, understand it, research it, channel it into something productive, or just dismiss the shit and let it go. Passion is what creates art. Passion is what makes you want to help your child, even though, they've messed up or whatever the case might be. You are passionate about something. It's different. This self-awareness here for this shepherd is talking about resonating in their truth, your truth, not somebody else's truth, not what you saw on television's truth. This is why I warn people against watching too much damn television, too much social media consumption, especially pornography consumption, because if you don't know your truth in any area of life and you consume too much of somebody else's, whether it was a parent, a sibling, or some person who had authority over you forcing some shit on you, or you electing to consume it through media, you're still letting yourself be programmed by it to an extent. So if you have not sorted yourself out spiritually, say when it comes to sex, dating, and romance, your parents didn't teach you right because they didn't fucking know, and nobody around you did. If you sat there and watch a bunch of porn or watch a bunch of sexually charged things, you could subconsciously take that and accept that as something you're supposed to do. Other teachers I know who kind of specialize in teaching people about sex and dating have told me how women complain, not to their men because the communication has opened the relationship, but to them about how these dudes try to repeat what they've seen in porn on her. She's not trying to get jackhammered and plowed for filth. The porno girl like that because she's being paid to do it, and that was a whole fake ass setup. Not only are you bringing fake energy and false energies into your sex life by trying to repeat what you saw someone else do or what you did with a previous partner. Caveat, you should be researching original things to do with whoever the fuck you're with now. Get you a Kama Sutra or look up some new things online if you're that hell bent on trying different positions. But don't you be trying to repeat what you did with some damn body else with the current person. It's energetically disrespectful. It's creatively fucking lazy. And you got more, just don't. And people, don't you let nobody do that to you. You demand a motherfucking respect. In that degree. If I got to demand too much respect from somebody, they're going to be excommunicated. But sometimes we can slow down, do a little teaching, and see if somebody will accept the knowledge and the jest. And if they won't, then excommunicado. But when it comes to that, these girls are not happy. They also weren't raised right sexually, so they can't just tell the dude, I don't like it like that, just do it like this. But he actually is in there not asking her what she wants, but is doing what he saw other dudes do. And men have learned how to not be good men from other men. That's another reason why I'm glad I wasn't raised by the men who were around me, because I would have learned every fucking thing wrong. And so you want to come into your own truth in every aspect of life. Do your own research. Don't accept shit at face value. Be careful what the fuck you consume in media, because you are teaching yourself until you know what you stand for and why. In any given area of life, it can render a reason, quantifiable growth in that area. If you overexpose yourself, or maybe a little expose yourself, I don't know, everybody's different, to things that are heavily influential, you could unknowingly create a neural pathway that's going to cause you to subconsciously repeat this pattern. Now, that boy went in there to give his best effort to have sex with this girl, but he didn't come at it from his own truth. He came at it from that other dude's truth. He did what his homeboy told him to do. He did not go within, or didn't talk to God, to see what he should do. He didn't talk to her. He came in there with a preconceived notion about what she should want because she's a female and all girls want that. Mm-mm. No, all of us are individual and different. That everybody wants a big dick or a little one or a middle-sized one or to be rough sex or smooth sex. Everything should be original. Like I said, we all change all the time. What I might be interested in, they might be the same thing a year from now. That's why we have to constantly be talking to the people in our lives to constantly recheck compatibility. Not every fucking day, but every few months or whatever it comes up naturally, wherever the spirit brings it up. And then be open to be flexible with people. But for fuck's sake, come at people original. Take time to think for yourself. You got to take time alone to learn yourself like this. I'm a huge fan of spiritual masturbation. to really connect with myself in that way, I get the candles out. I put on orange lighting. You can get orange candles. You can go on YouTube and get like, this is how you open your sacral chakra and strengthen raise your sacral energy vibration by yourself. You put on like drums. There's actual sacral chakra music like on YouTube and online that you can find, but orange is the color associated with the sacral chakra. So if you put like on an orange candle or orange lighting around the headboard on my bed is like an LED light on it, so I can change the color. So I'll put it on orange light. I'll put out orange and I'll put candles out or put music on and everything like that and do like an extended spiritual, like alchemical type of masturbation thing. And I'll time it to be sure it lasts like at least 45 minutes to an hour to really, really let that energy work and set in and also to strengthen, all that area down there. And then when I do that, I learn myself better. I can hear myself speak sexually. I'm connecting to the divine when I do that. Yes, you can bring God into masturbation. I don't give a fuck what anybody told you. God created sex and all the sex parts. You can have God in sex too. This is why it's such a big deal if you choose actively not to live spiritually, because all the things you're doing, you could have done it and still had a close relationship with God. He would have just made sure you did it right with the right people at the highest vibration possible is all. So you could have like literally the best experience. There's no excuse to leave God out cold. There's just no reason for that. He's not trying to take anything from you. When I masturbate like that, I'm able to then show up better for my sexual partners with greater strength, a firmer understanding of myself. Since I can hear myself better, I can hear them better. Since I can hear myself and God better, I can request information from my sexual partners better. And since I'm more concerned about my partner than I am about the experience, we have a better experience because we're putting each other first before the experience. And we're putting the divine in the middle of the experience. And we're putting the divine before the experience. Experience is going to happen. This is about being sure that it's highly charged with the right energy and not worshiping the experience rather than honoring the divine in the person. The last evolution of Aries is the reborn sun. This is a stage of acceptance and peace, but there is also space for what will grow. This symbolizes the beginning of a new phase, similar to how spring is celebrated after a long and hard winter. Glory be to God. Lord have mercy. For many things often have to die away during the life of the Aries so that they can be reborn as their higher self. During this phase, there is also an exuberance for all that will come, trusting that now that we've done the inner work, we're ready for our outer life to align with those changes. There is no futile fighting anymore, but only the steadfast strength that comes from knowing whatever is meant for us will always be ours. The saying in esoteric circles goes as within, so without, as above, so below. Once you become more consistent and stabilized in your life, the shit around you outside will become more consistent and stabilized. It's just the way it goes. And I'm talking about the areas that you've struggled in. So like somebody who's like naturally good with money from like birth may be really fucked up on the inside, but that's just a natural gift that they have. So they can't look at something they've always been good at and really assess that. They got to look at what they struggled at. So like learning to be good with finances was something I had to struggle with. Learning to be good with spirituality is not something that I've had to struggle with. So I can't look at my abilities magically speaking and be like, oh, I got my shit together. No, I have to look at where I have fucked up and be able to quantify growth in that area. I began to get better in my finances once I got more solid on the inside. It's very intriguing to me how like fixing, say, an inner child issue, an old wound can make a person show up in areas of finances or the way they do their job or the way they work out or the way they do any fucking thing. It's like everything about us is so interconnected, and it's almost like if one thing about us, if that's very deeply entrenched in us, is throw it off, we can fuck up shit that you might not think is attached to whatever it is that's broken in you at all. This is why we cannot leave trauma unchecked, unhealed, unattended to, at least unbeing worked on in some type of way. Give me something, people. Give me something. It's very, very intriguing to me. But as you begin to grow and fortify yourself and let the divine work with you and fortify you, just open your heart and let the divine in, child. If he's not trying to hurt you and 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 just let that happen. It's like you will find that when you show up to do the things you did like yesterday, you'll be like, wait a minute, I'm doing this more efficiently now. That didn't take me as much time. I wasn't as stressed out today when I did that. I'm comprehending this quicker. I wrote that article faster and more efficiently than I did before. Fuck. I found a easier way to navigate the train system today. I didn't see that before. When we get clear on the inside, it's like our physical vision clears and life can become more fluid when we've done the work. It's quite intriguing to me. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about before I wrap these fire signs up is how it's talking about letting things die. Death is a beautiful thing. And the death card in the tarot is one of those ones people tend to freak out about, but it usually doesn't indicate a physical death, although it can. Some people believe that you have to have other cards on the table for a physical death to be indicated, but physical death is something that awaits us all. So you might as well get excited about it because it's going to happen. And I don't mean like suicidal excited. I mean like you want to be an old person, like I talked about in the last episode, an old person excited to fucking leave. They're like, peace out, motherfuckers. Deuces. See y'all like literally whenever. And as God says in the Hebrew Bible, better is the end of a thing than the beginning of it. Why? Because you've gone through it, you learned the lessons, you've grown. The experience is one thing, but how you change after the experience is the most important thing. As another reason why I warn people against making a God out of getting experiences. How many experiences do we have where after the experience is over, we sit down either with ourselves, with the divine, or with our friends, family, children, lovers, and rehash that experience and go, what lessons did we learn from this sex we had tonight? What lessons did we learn from that trip we took? What lessons did we learn from that bar mitzvah? What lessons did we learn from planting that garden? We talk about integrating, but how often do we really speak it out and be sure we have quantifiable lessons from from the experiences that we've had? Because if you don't do that, you can get into this lull of calling inspiration things that it's not. It's just a good feeling. Integration can just be a good feeling. Working on yourself can become like a permanent thing and you never quite arrive at a fucking destination. And you get stuck behind this thing where the healing can take a while and you will never get healed. You should get fucking healed at some point. If you're working on it, God is going to help you with that, but you got to be willing to quantify it and let it go. So what I'm saying is when the experience is over, it's a type of death because everything has to end, but don't just let it end there. What was the point of it all? What did we gain from it? Fucking write it down if you have to. But let us really, really squeeze the true full essence out of life and not just be mindless. And even in mindfulness still, I want to know, damn it, what the gain was. What did we get out of this shit? What was the point of it all? And it can't just be a fuzzy feeling. To me, inspiration is not inspiration unless it inspired me to do something. I went to, even if it's, well, it's more of a confirmation. No, I can give you this. I went to the Janet Jackson concert at the Barclays Center over in fucking Brooklyn. and Nelly opened up for her, and oh my gosh, oh my god, what a fucking show. Nelly was so goddamn grateful. I could feel like his gratitude just I mean, before the man even talks, he just gives out this he just exudes fucking thankfulness. That he said all the thankful things, about being there for him since the beginning. And when Janet came out, she was just like, in her fucking vibe. She wasn't even trying that damn hard. She had her all the five but dancers. And she was like, I'm gonna sit here and drink my damn water as often as I fucking feel like walking off stage to do it. And I'm gonna marinate. You know who I am. And we're all just together again. I think it's the name of her tour is. And she was just such a damn fucking power. Just being comfortable in her own fucking skin the way she was. Just sitting on stage singing, just fucking vibing. I don't know if she even broke a sweat. She don't have to. She's already done all the things she needs to do to prove herself. I was inspired by her confidence, her feminine energy, and her queen energy, and how she's like, her authenticity. And it echoed my own, and it made me feel stronger about how I want to show up in my relationships with people. That's me taking inspiration and deciding I'm gonna alchemize or transmute that into something that I can fucking use in a quantifiable way. When you carry yourself the way to me that Joe does, people are gonna fuck with you or treat you in no trifling ass way. That's what I demand from people. I already had that going, but something within my energy connected with that energy, and I got a confirmation out of that, and I also was inspired by that, and I felt, like, encouraged by that. So, see, we need to be able to do something with what we call inspiration. If you're looking at art, if your partner's inspiring you, I don't accept it as inspiration if you didn't do anything with it. Now, yeah, I guess it can become inspiration one day if you take the fuzzy feeling or the good feeling and you do something with it, but until then, to me, it's just a fuzzy feeling, and it's not true inspiration. Because people do shit all the time. Oh, it's so inspired. I'll ask them to do what? Do tell. I'm not even much being sarcastic. Like I like to hear these things. I'm like, well, they inspired you to do what? Be a better version of yourself. Okay, how did you do that? And it doesn't have to be a big thing. Did you wake up an hour early to work out? Did you start eating healthier? Did you choose the almond milk rather than the cow milk this time? It can be little shit that you've been inspired to do. It doesn't have to be a grand thing. There's nothing wrong with grand things. So sometimes it's good to just be extra. Why the fuck not? You only live once. Damn it. Fuck it. But embracing death also part of detachment and letting go of people, places, and things that do not serve you. That is a hallmark of an ascended person or somebody who's grown a lot. Even if you're not fully ascended, you can still be a master of detachment, in my opinion. Fully ascended. If you haven't ascended, what the fuck does full ascension look like? You can always be thrown into another ascension. Or but being willing to say goodbye to people, places, and things, no matter how long you've known those people, no matter who they're supposed to be. There's a scripture in the book of Matthew in the Hebrew Bible that says that the Lord really honors and look highly favorably upon people who have left father, mother, sister, brother, houses, and lands to follow the Lord and do his will. And it says that people who have left father, mother, sister, brother, and all of those things will inherit eternal life and will in no wise lose their reward. The prime example of this is the Holy Ghost, who came down here when Jesus died on the cross and ascended. The Holy Ghost has been down here with us the whole fucking time and ain't been home since. And so God isn't asking anybody to do things that he hasn't done or is not currently doing. People don't like to leave family. They don't like to leave lovers. They don't like to leave their comfort zone. But you are not impressing God by being that way if the shit is not serving you anymore. You don't look cute at all before the divine. It's not a cute look. But when people were able to do that, and you will experience a death if you cut people off in that way, you take your ass to counseling, which you should have a counselor anyway, and you pray about it and you process the shit out. It was tough for me to cut off blood family and things like that, and old friends and lovers and their family and all of that. But I'm fabulous at it now. I keep my fucking sword out just in case. I ain't cut a bitch off. It's not that I relish it, but it doesn't tug on me emotionally. I look at it quite objectively, but it was a skill I had to learn. But I put God first. I have to explain my whole everything I do to Him. And it says in the Hebrew Bible, we will have to give an account for every idle word that comes out of our mouth. And I would add to that every person we chose to have in our life, all the energies we chose to accept, everything we chose to do or didn't choose to do. We have to give an account for it all. But one thing I'm not going to do is let my life be fucked up or fucked over because of somebody who has a low vibration or unacceptable nastiness about them, or somebody who's subtle about the nastiness, or somebody who won't change or evolve or grow or just want to have experiences. They're not interested in the divine. Because eternity is real and it's fucking permanent and it will be determined by what we do in this life. I talked about the reincarnation and that version of what I just said in the previous episode, so I won't go over that. But either way, we have consequences when we depart this plane of existence. So let us people get past just wanting to live to have fun and have sex and date, make money and travel and eat and shit and all that and look good and sexy and search for validation in places we're never going to get it, and get serious about our spirituality. If you got to start with the Zodiac, start with the Zodiac. Hopefully this episode has helped you to understand something better about yourself. If you're a fire sign, if you're raising a fire sign, if you're dating a fire sign, if you work with a fire sign, or whatever the case may be. Let us understand ourselves better so we can show up for ourselves better, get our shit together spiritually, and show up for all of our relationships better, and ultimately serve out our soul's purpose for the divine as we should. My name is Devan and Serafino. When I come back to you next time, I ain't made up my mind yet. I don't know if I'm going to do the earth signs, the water signs, or the air signs. It's going to be one of the three, though. Probably water, though, but don't hold me to that. I already got my shirt picked out, actually. It's cute. It's real fucking cute. And it's blue. The spirit gave me the inspiration to like wear something to match the elements. That's why I decided to go with this red, I don't know, kind of African magical fiery with these little pokey things, pokey thingies or whatever the fuck this is. So I thought this would be great to dress in while I talk about the fire signs. So I'll be in something blue for water, something more earthy, green, brown for our earth. And then I'll be wearing white for air. Oh my gosh, it's so cute, right? And so okay, let me get my fucking ass off of here. The website is sexdrugsandjesus.com. Also downunderapparel.com. YouTube is Sex, Drugs, and Jesus Podcast. Thank you all. Please like, share, subscribe, share it with some motherfucking body, and let's learn some shit. I look forward to this astrological, zodiac, magical journey that I'm on with you all, and I cannot wait to do my first global tarot reading. It's gonna be general for all signs. I don't care to read by signs. Same shit happens to everybody eventually, and it goes through cycles. So fuck it. Shit. At least that's where I am now. Oh, and I hope you're enjoying my new Phoenix background. This came to me. The Lord led me to get this as well. And Phoenix is actually the final evolution of Scorpio. Scorpio is Scorpio. The scorpion, I believe, is Scorpio's actually most basic fucking evolution, but is what is known for. When a Scorpio actually fully evolves, they turn into this from a goddamn scorpion. Can you even believe? Right? Scorpio is my rising sign. I definitely embody that. Anyway, till next time, y'all. Thank you all so much for joining us today and for taking some time to invest into yourself and into the lives of your loved ones. Please visit us at sexdrugsandjesus.com and check out our resource page, our spiritual service offerings, my blog, my books, and other writings that God has partnered with me to create. Find us on any social media platform. Stay strong, my people, and just remember that everything is going to be all right.